Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, and welcome to lesson number 4. I hope that you have already learned and gone through lesson number 1, 2, and 3. And if you have not, please go and check out the playlist. Today, we would be talking about a very special topic, and I am very excited to discuss this topic with all of you. Today we are going to talk about Qalqala. Now, if you are new to this and you have not heard of this, then I assure you that you are going to love and you're going to appreciate the Imams that pay attention to the very fine details doing the recitation. So, without wasting any time, let's jump into the actual lesson. Qalqala. Qalqala is a rule in Tajweed that refers to the slight echoing or bouncing sound when pronouncing certain letters. Now, this is already very interesting that we are talking about producing some bouncy effect in our sound, in our pronunciation, when reciting certain letters. And this also occurs when these letters appear with a sukoon or when these letters are sakin. Now, at this point, I hope that you know what a sakin is. And if you don't remember that, we talked about this in the first lecture, the jazm and the sakin. So, if you don't remember, first of all, that's a very bad thing. And second of all, don't worry, I've got you covered. We are going to recall what a jazm and a sakin is because this is very important in today's lesson. The qalqala only occurs at the letters, certain letters, and when these certain letters are sakin. So, what is the sakin? Sakin is a word, a letter that has jazm. Jazm is what? Jazm is this flipped C. So, any letter that has this jazm is called sakin. Now, in this case, ya, wow, wow. These are all sakin. So you have to remember this very carefully and pay attention to this because in Qalqala, we would be talking about the sakin letters. So let's talk about this. What are the letters of Qalqala? So we have, first of all, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. So we only have these 5 letters. Easy to remember, right? So we have these 5 letters, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. These are the huruf qalqala, and you can remember them using this phrase, which is Qutubu Jaddin. Qutubu Jaddin. So you can remember the 5 letters through this. Now let's talk about the most important thing, which is how to do the qalqala. What is the qalqala? We know that qalqala is producing some bouncy effect in this during the pronunciation, but what actually is qalqala? So let's talk about it. How do you recite this? Lam yalid. Now you see, when I recite this, I did a little lam yalid, yalid. Now this the sound that I extended, I produced this bouncy yalid, yalid. This yalid, that the sound that I am extending is actually the qalqala. So dal, since dal is one of those 5 letters, qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal, we are going to do the qalqala. And what is the qalqala? Qalqala is the bouncy effect. We are going to produce that sound. Lam yalid, yalid. If there was no qalqala, I would just recite it as lam yalid. I would stop at lam yalid. But I'm extending the sound. Lam yalid, that the sound, this is actually the qalqala. Lam yalid, yalid, yalid. Walam yulad, walam yulad. Then we have inna shani'aka huwal abtar, abtar. You see this this bouncy sound. Abtar. If there was no qalqala, it would be abtar, abtar. But since there's a qalqala, we are going to recite it as abtar, abtar. إن شانئك هو الأبتر ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now there is actually a double pesh on top of dal, but since we're doing it, we're doing the waqf, we are going to, this would become the sakin. We are going to learn that in detail in the coming lectures on waqf, but we know that it is pronounced as ahad. So, وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ أَحَدٌ عَبْدًا عَبْدًا وَرَأَيْتَ النَّاسَ يَدْخُلُونَ يَدْخُلُونَ يَدْخُلُونَ. If you use the Tajweed Quran, you would see that these letters are highlighted with a different color. So it would become very easy for you to identify these letters if you're using the Tajweed Quran. So يدخلون يد. This is the sound of Qalqala. And khulun, as you saw that this is also highlighted with a different color. So this is the benefit of using the Tajweed Quran. So we are going to listen to some imams of Haraman Sharifan, and we are going to see how they are reciting. And you just have to be very attentive and observe this subtle difference of Qalqala, because it is very difficult to identify the difference if you're not paying attention. We are going to listen to Surah Al-Falaq. So in Surah Al-Falaq, we have the Qalqala at the end of every ayah. You see Falaq, Khalaq, Khalaq, Waqab, Uqad, Hasad. So these are all the letters with Qalqala. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. So let's just listen to the Imam.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد.
So you must have enjoyed the recitation, and I hope that you felt the Qalqala and you felt the difference in pronunciation when doing the Qalqala. So let's practice. Let's start the practice. So we are going to start with Qul. Now you see Qul, Lam is not one of the 5 letters, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. So we are not going to do the Qalqala here. So we are going to stop at Qul. Qul. This is where we are going to end the voice. Qul. 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 You would never hear someone reciting like Qul. Qul. No, nobody does that. Falaq. We would do Falaq, Qalqala there. Min sharri ma khalaq. ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد عقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد حسد حسد. Now at the start you might find it a bit overwhelming, but you do not have to worry about that. All you have to do is practice, practice, and more practice. The more you practice, the more second nature it would become. And there would come a time when you would not even need to process anything, and everything would fall in place automatically. For example, now what you do is you are going to consider Qul A'udhu. Okay, there is a jazam. Jazam, it means the word is, the letter is sakin. So is it one of the 5 letters? Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal? No, it is not one of the 5 letters. Okay, this is not, we are not going to do the calculation. So you might think that this is so much calculation for every jazam that I see while reciting. How am I going to recite fluently? I'm going to stop at every jazam and sakin and start thinking, but this is not true. Your brain, it is very powerful. It is going to figure out everything so quickly that you'd be surprised. Of course, after practice. So remember me in your prayers, because this is it for today. We are going to see you in the next lecture. So take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.